We're here with Justin Gary of Stoneblade Entertainment to talk about SolForge Fusion.
Yeah.
And I literally know nothing about this game, but I hear it's your biggest, baddest project.
It is the most ambitious project I've ever done, and I've been doing this for 20 plus years. First of all, it's awesome because I got to work with Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering, like my game design idol, who got me into this industry in the first place when I started off as a pro Magic player. And so we got to work together to build something that uses new technology to become the world's first hybrid deck game. So what's a hybrid deck game, you might wonder?
What's a hybrid deck game?
Great question. So a hybrid deck game is a game where we actually generate unique decks of cards. Every single deck is algorithmically generated to be one of a kind. So you'll see the exact list of cards that only this deck will ever have.
Okay.
In addition, every single deck can be scanned into an online account. So you can see behind me, there's an online version of the game that we just launched in April. And that one is, so your collection can be one-to-one in your digital account. To build a deck, you just shuffle any two different decks together, so you can mix and match and still customize, but nobody can just have the same deck as you. Nobody can copy your deck. You're not chasing off rares. And there's way more to it than that. Right? Just to give you a baseline, that's like what we're working with.
That's just page one of the...
Exactly. If you play in the online, you play in the digital app, you can not just play against other people or play against an AI, but we also have a whole algorithmically generated campaign mode where you can battle against bosses, level up your deck, earn XP, go through that whole experience too. And so it's a very cool, very unique system that how many different games out there where they're like, oh, I can play the physical version of the game or I can play the digital version of the game, but I got to buy them both separately and I got to have separate collections. Here, one-to-one, you can just buy it once, have it everywhere. Really, really cool.
Really cool.
And then that's like the kind of peripheral of how the game, like what a hybrid deck game is. But the basics of play, very simple and very fun on their own. So even if you just don't even think about all the stuff I just told you, you just buy one of these boxes, it's 4 decks, it's everything you need to play, and that would allow you to be able to battle by placing cards in the lanes. Every time you play a creature, it levels up. Whenever you get the higher level version, it goes to your discard pile. Every 3 turns you shuffle, get access to your new higher level cards. So you can see even this little stampeding Mongasar that starts as a 5 attack, 3 health guy, levels up all the way to a 12 attack, 8 health guy that has superpowers. So it's like a really fun thing where you actually build your deck as you play. Very quick, very fun, and then with all of the hybrid technology that comes with it, it's a really unique gaming experience.
Wow, that's crazy. So you're playing against other players and it's your unique deck against their unique deck.
Exactly.
That's incredible. So how do you even envision, how did this idea get generated, and how did you storyboard this thing?
Yeah. So there's a long story behind that. So you have Richard and I had met Richard while I was a pro player a couple of times, but we really bonded back in 2011 is where the story starts.
Wow.
So 2011, we're at PAX Dev conference, and I was giving a talk, and Richard was giving a talk, and of course I'm going to go see Richard's talk because Richard's the man. I'm going to go see him do a talk. And at the end of the talk, they asked him a question, and I said, "Hey, what's your favorite game right now?" And he said, "Ascension," like my game. I literally in the back of the room, I go, "Woohoo!" like a kid in a candy store cheering. The whole room laughs.
That's amazing.
But it gave me my end to start talking to him, and so we start talking, and we talked for close to 3 hours.
Wow.
And it was clear we had the same vision for what we wanted to do next.
Really?
And that was the first version of SolForge. SolForge, the original, was the first TCG to be designed for digital at first. So we had mobile, it was on phones, it was on tablets, and so it was a groundbreaking game that had the same level up mechanic. It was more of a traditional trading card game, but it was the first natively digital one. And so that project was awesome. We went to Kickstarter, we launched it, we ran it for several years. Eventually we had to sunset it, and I always wanted to find a way to bring it back. And so then Richard did another game called Keyforge, no relation to SolForge, but it had a unique deck system where they algorithmically generated decks, and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do for SolForge. And there was a bunch of technology that they didn't have at the time they did Keyforge, which I was like, oh, we can do that. And so we invented the technology to algorithmically modify the cards and to build the decks the way we did, and then we invented the technology to make sure that it could scan and have the one-to-one connection to the online account. And so we just worked over the last 4 years to bring this new version to life. So it is a journey that has had 13 years now since it started to be able to create this thing, to launch it, to build the community that we have. We have a very active community on Discord. And again, it was like the physical version, the first set just launched in October of 2022. The digital version just launched in early access in April. We had just did our 3rd expansion for the set called The Last Winter. So it's a very active, very live project that has been an incredible journey that I'm very proud to be a part of, and to bring.
And the algorithm balances out everything.
The algorithm balances out everything. We've built it so that you're never going to have. This is one of the problems I had with Keyforge was like you could get decks that were completely unplayable. They made no sense, right? right? Whereas here, our algorithm guarantees if you have a zombie lord, you're going to get zombies in that deck. If you have it balances with a certain number of creatures, a certain number of things, to make sure that, obviously some decks are going to be better than others, but they're all within a range, and they're designed so that you can always have fun and learn the strategies of playing those decks, and you just want to try to find the perfect pair so you can shuffle the right decks together to find the right combos and setups. So you get the ability to customize, but you can't copy, which is the problem with other TCGs, right? Again, as a pro player, my job was to find the best deck, copy it, maybe make one card tweak at best, and otherwise that was it. And so that was something we purposefully wanted to reintroduce, the idea of discovery. Every time I open a pack of SolForge Fusion, I'm seeing something no one in the world has seen before. That's just a cool thing that I missed from my early days of Magic. I'm dating myself, but pre-internet Magic, where I could discover something new. Now you can have that experience in SolForge Fusion.
That's great. So when is this available, or what's the...
Available right now. You can buy it anywhere where fine games are sold. So you can buy the physical version in your local hobby store. You can buy the digital version on Steam. We're launching, so it's on available PC right now. We're launching a Mac version soon. The last winter just released, so you can buy decks on stoneblade.com. You can buy the digital versions or the physical versions that can be scanned in. So all the stuff is available right now. It's a really great time to get involved. We're constantly developing and updating. Every 2 weeks we have a new update in the app. Every few months we have new cards and stuff for people to play with, new bosses to battle in the campaign mode. So it's a very live and vibrant community. Which
so you're not coming in at the ground floor, but
pretty close.
It's pretty close.
You're like because for the digital side, which we have a lot more plans for, that's brand new. I mean, we just launched it early access a few months ago, so you can still be a part of the development. You can still be part of helping us decide which features, which type of tournaments we're running, which type of new features we're building in. And our Discord is very active, and our team is there, so you can engage with us directly.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's a very exciting project.
As a designer, this must be just such an amazing experience.
It is really cool to be able to be at the forefront of what gaming can do. Right? I love, again, we'll talk about Ascension, which I've been making for 15 years, and their new set. That's a cool new iteration, but it's really a classic, an homage to the classic designs. This is all right, we're going to take what you know about games and we're going to blow it out of the water and show you what's possible. And so it's very exciting.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to share about SolForge Fusion. This is a game I'm going to be checking out for sure.
Awesome.
Anyway,
my pleasure.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Now get out there, get gaming, and be legendary.
Yeah, there we go. Get the catchphrase in.
Yeah, absolutely.